Take two. I recorded a whole thing about the discussion, and let me rephrase that. I thought I had recorded a whole thing about the discussion, and when I went to do the processing so I could post the video, um I discovered I never hit the record button. So that's telling you how my days are going. Um so I'm going to do this again real quick. And I'm going to start with saying that this is for the discussion for week 9. We are now doing the 2-week long discussion. It is extremely important that you have watched the previously posted video about the new format for discussions. There's a whole new way of grading, whole new timeline. Everything is laid out in that video. The video I posted in week 8 um, tells you all the rules. I actually go through the entire rubric. So please, please, please make sure to do that before you even attempt the discussion for week 9, because a lot of things have changed. And I want to make sure you're good on that. Now, I'm going to share the screen to show you what I'm talking about for your discussion. And the only reason I'm really spending too much on this is because of how much is changing. The first part of this is just reminding you what I just said, to make sure to watch the video and that there's a whole new grading, and you understand that when you're submitting your first discussion. Okay, so the way this goes right now, our government is in shutdown, and that's what our discussion is going to be about, because throughout this term, you're learning how the American government works. And right now, we are watching what happens when opposing sides are doing this. So I am giving you a whole bunch of articles. If you look over to the side, you'll see week 9, and then you'll see a sub area for articles for shutdown. I have included a few. I'm about to add some more. And I think I have some hyperlinks as well that will be tossed in there. Make sure you research. You are expected to read about this and research it and look through your text and everything before you even attempt to do the discussion. What you have to do here, right here, you need to discuss what a shutdown means. Like, what does it mean when you say our government is shut down? You are going to need to tell me why we are currently in a shutdown, like what caused it. Discuss some of the topics that the sides cannot agree upon. We're shut down because the two sides can't agree. There you go. I give you an example a little farther down in here about healthcare. Healthcare is the big thing that's holding everything up. So you need to know that, what it's about, what each side says, that kind of thing. Also, what is the president's job during a shutdown? Like historically or according to your text. Literally, what is the job of the president of the United States? What is that person supposed to do when the government is in a shutdown? We have had shutdowns randomly throughout history, and there's a format you're supposed to follow. And that's what I want you to be looking at. We are in a longer shutdown than typical right now. And that's why I'm making this a discussion point. And then here where you get to your educated personal opinions. Note that educated is in all caps. I'm trying to make sure you need to research and think. You need to educate yourself and then give your opinion. Do not just give an opinion off the cuff. Make an effort. Big thing on the educated part. You need to back up whatever you say your thoughts are. So like you say, I think blah, 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 blah. The reason is, and then you back it up with some evidence, some valid sources. You and I do not have to agree. Perfectly fine. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. 100%. I will not diss anybody for your opinion. That is okay. But you have to have an educated opinion. That's the big thing. I have seen a lot of people who just off the cuff say what they say. And It's clear that they haven't actually looked into it. They are so surface, it's bothersome. And so for this, you need to spend the time. Since you now have 2 weeks to do a discussion, you have much more time to research before you write your initial post. I am expecting you to do this. And that means these discussions are going to be more in depth. You need to give more. And I don't mean more copy paste. I do not mean more AI crap. I do not mean just throw a bunch of things in there thinking the bulk is going to make it look like you know what you're talking about. I want your voice, your words, your educated opinion. This course is supposed to be about you looking at things, researching things, using your mind, and voicing it. So I really need you to do this. Note the next part says, be crystal clear as to your personal thoughts. That means make sure the class and myself know when you're saying it's what you think. Some people are going a little too hard on trying to make it like a paper, and it makes it not as clear. I need to know this is what you think. Part of the problem I feel with a lot of the stuff is people not willing to state clearly what they believe and not having any kind of true backing for what they believe. I want you to stop that. I want you to be clear. If it's what you believe, by God, stand up and say it out loud and proud and stand by your beliefs. No matter what side you're on, you need to say it very clearly. I think, I believe, my thoughts are, make sure it is crystal clear. This section is what you think. And then, of course, back it up with your evidence. Again, here, I put make sure to follow the new grading rubric. You are being graded on a lot. So when I started off this video saying to make sure to look at that video, dude, I'm serious, because now that the discussions are open for 2 weeks, each discussion is worth 50 points. That is 50 points. That means each discussion is worth half a letter grade. You cannot afford to not do what you're supposed to do. It will hurt you tremendously. So please, if you have not already watched the video about how the discussion has changed, do so. Make sure to really look at it. Make sure you understand the concepts that you're supposed to do. And one of the biggest ones, one of the biggest changes here is part of your grading rubric is going to be critical thinking. You've got to show me that you're actually using critical thinking skills. That is part of what I mean when I say your educated personal opinions or your educated personal thoughts. That is part of the critical thinking, is you're not just going la la la. You're actually educating yourself on the topic to form your opinion. You might have a different opinion before you educate yourself. That's kind of cool. That's the way it works. And I would love it if that happens. Share that. That shows growth. I love that kind of thing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I would highly recommend reading some of, if not all of, the articles that I'm putting in there, and look for more articles about the shutdown, because a lot of stuff's happening, and the more directions you can come at it, the better. Yeah, I think that's it. There was probably more stuff I said in the first one that I forgot to hit record to. And right now, quite frankly, I'm like, oh God, please let me remember to hit record this time. Everything's gone crazy the past couple of days, and I'm just trying to keep it going. So if you have any questions, contact me. Thursday, I will be traveling on Thursday, and then I'm turning everything off. I am going dark for a couple of days. I will not be logging in. I will not be checking the phone. I am going to pretend nothing else exists for a couple of days. So if you need something from me, you'll need to contact me before I turn everything off on Thursday. And I don't know specifically what time that will be. It will be when I arrive at my destination. I'll do one last check and then turn it all off. And then I won't be checking again until sometime on Sunday. I have not had a day off in months and months, and I am giving myself 2 days of just nothing but nature and books. I love to read. I will probably show you guys pictures afterwards when I set up everything for the following time. But yeah, so that's it. If you need anything, contact me. If you remember, the proper way is through email or text. So I guess that is it, and good luck. Peace out.